colleague. Welcome back to the conversation. Dr. Nefertiti Pointer here with the Devereux Center for Resilient Children. And in this limited series, we are unfolding and unpacking and really talking about the word culturally responsive teaching. So today I wanted to remind you, because I know you already know this, but I did want to make sure we tied up the series with the importance of remembering families as we do culturally responsive teaching. You know, we are nothing without our families, and we are nothing without an understanding of their rich traditions, the things that make them happy, the things that excite them, the things that have been handed down generation to generation. And we are responsible as educators and as a field, as a total. We are responsible for infusing children's culture in everything that we do. As we've said in this video series, culturally responsive teaching is not something that we do a day of the week or a particular month of the year. It's identity. It is making sure we see the whole child and that we are teaching with the whole child in mind. So I want to tell you a story about a time when I was teaching very early in my career. I wanted all of my students to have a tape told by a book narrated by their family member that I could put in the listening area. So I asked all my parents to record their child's favorite story and to bring the recording back to me so I could have it in my listening centers. So talk about culturally responsive teaching. My students got to hear stories narrated in rich language. Sometimes, not all in English, but we got to hear dialects and enunciations. It was great. One of my families, I just could not get to send the tape back, and I kind of knew I was going to have difficulty. So I went to plan B. The 17-year-old brother would pick up this little guy often. And so I said to the brother, "Hey, will you help me out?" So I told him what I needed. I told him when I needed it back. He said, "Sure, Miss Bruce, I'll be happy to help you." So he took my tape recorder. He took my student's favorite book home and he recorded it. And he brought it back the next day. And I was so excited because guess what he did? He used such inflections in his voice. I could hear him smiling. I could hear him smiling through some of the pages. He used the student's name in the book. He said, "Beep, time to turn the page. Beep, time to turn the page." And there was one part of the story where there's kind of a sing-song. So instead of sing-songing it, this 17-year-old rapped it, and it was amazing. So when we talk today about culturally responsive teaching, and we talk about including the families, remember, it takes a village. So getting to know the few people that you may know as part of the family, that's one thing. But who else makes up this child's village? Let's get to know all of them. That's just an example of culturally responsive teaching and how we can make sure we're including families. I identify myself as a part of my family. And so culturally responsive teaching is nothing if it doesn't include the family. And I don't mean that surface level of getting to know the family. I mean those few steps under what we normally do. That's culturally responsive. And that's just an example that we're happy that we can use this space to talk about. So get out of here. We'll see you later. Thank you for listening to our limited series. This time around, we were talking about this word, culturally responsive. But don't forget to sustain it. Culturally responsive and sustaining. See you later. Nefertiti Pointer here with the Devereux Center for Resilient Children. Thanks for listening.